Welcome back, friends, to the shop. I've got a great video for you today. We're going to be installing the 12,000 pound Harbor Freight Badlands winch on the new Super Duty. And the next video, we're going to be doing some serious hardcore testing to see if it stacks up to a Warren. It's a very enticing package when you could purchase 3 of these for the cost of a Warren. And my initial impressions on these things are very, very nice, very nicely built. I laid all the contents of the box out and I was a little overwhelmed. They're like, goodness, what is all this stuff? That's all, I've hooked up a lot of winches and I've never seen so much stuff, but it's not an issue. So the reason why there's so much stuff is that there's 2 options. Now these winches, like on a Warren, have a solenoid pack, which is the top section. So you've got the motor here, and you've got your planetary gear system, and your clutch and all that. This is the electronics. This is the click, click, click that you hear. This is the relays that are up there. Now, if you're putting this in, if you want a low profile, like behind a bumper or something, you can remove this and remotely mount this to give yourself some more room, which is commonly done, and that's what all this extra stuff is. Now, I took a bullet for you guys by reading the instruction manual, because as a professional homeowner, that goes against the grain. Typically, I give it the old sail away there. But what we have, the reason why we have so many cables here is for that relocation, and we're not gonna have to do that today. So we're gonna just keep it quick and dirty because the buckstop bumper has lots of room. I am making some assumptions here, but I looked inside and it looks big. So this is the Buckstop Classic 2. Man, nice bumper. Now that's cavernous. That looks like it's all ready to go. It's winch ready. It's thick enough. It's rated. I think this is like 3/8 plate, massive. And then we'll put this beautiful polished Fairlead on there with that forged hook. Oh my goodness, forget about it. It's going to be amazing. It appears to have the positive lead is already there. Nice. It's got shielding in it. We don't need the shielding because this is going to be the ground here. So we have a chassis ground here, and this is going to go on the stud. So this is going to ground the unit right here. Got me tools I needed if you're installing this and watching it. That's what I do on YouTube. I buy something and I'm trying to figure it out. I don't read the instructions. I go find a YouTube video that somebody's made and follow them step by step. This is recessed back in there, so I'm going to bend this cable end, relieve that a little. So I guess relieve is the wrong term, just so it's better in there. Harbor Freight, if you guys are watching, include a second nut. That way we could put a nut on there and it would space this out so we don't have that extreme angle on there, which is not ideal. I Loctite everything, especially on things like this where it seems like when you need it to work, it's in the middle of the night in a snowstorm, and you just don't want to have any problems, right? Got my granddad's old creeper here. My granddad was a mechanic. This was a creeper. Look how old it is. This is all, that's all cast. He's even about worn out the wheels. They're so sloppy. And my Nana reupholstered the headrest on there, man. Different generation, right? Think about how this highlights how disposable our lives have become. He's repaired this everywhere you look. There's been a repair on it. Okay, it's gonna be tight, but I need to get a lift, don't I? Why I haven't got a lift is beyond me. Guys, I messed up. There was another bag of hardware. There is washers for that nut. So I'm going to have to pull that off there for 2 reasons since I didn't read the instructions. These square nuts slide into the bottom of the winch so that when you bolt through the plate, they have something to thread into. I guess I'm also making an assumption that the bolt pattern is the same. Let me check that. See if the feet line up. Let's bolt the winch down to the winch plate first. We've got our lock washers and our flat washers. And fortunately, Harbor Freight provided the torque specs on there. We are ready to install the Fairlead. Torque spec on this is 53 to 57, so I set the wrench at 55. These are the stainless steel cap screws, which are very nice, very attractive. Now, be careful when you're working with stainless steel hardware. you've got to put anti-seize on it or something to lubricate the threads, because stainless steel is notorious for galling. And when you gall stainless steel like this, you will be very sad because you won't be able to tighten it, you won't be able to take it off. It is a miserable experience, especially if you can't get at it to cut it off. So be sure you do that. You should have this stuff in your shop. We used this in the last video, the anti-seize. If you don't have it, at least just put some grease on it, and that will, and don't run it on with impact wrenches. Impact wrenches, they zip it on so fast and they produce so much heat that they tend to gall really bad with those. So put that anti-seize on there for sure. Don't forget, I disengaged the clutch here, so that should pull through. I'm going to deviate from the plan. I'm not going to install this battery switch. A couple reasons. So in the instructions on the lead, you would have one lead come up here, and you'd have this short jumper, and this battery would be either close to the winch or close to the battery so that you could shut it off. I'm not super thrilled about the quality of this. I mean, it's okay. But it looks to me to be a failure point down the road, and I like to keep things simple. I've had four winches on four different vehicles. I've never had a shut-off switch. I'm not interested in it. I'll just use the cable right to the batteries. I'm feeling that's going to be a very controversial decision in the comments. I just don't want it, man. If you want it, put it on. I'm not going to tell you what to do, so you don't tell me what to do. I don't want to drill holes in the new truck, and to me, it's not necessary. All right, did I mention there's dual alternators on here? Dual alternators. The ultimate flex. If you don't think so, do you have dual alternators? I was so pleasantly surprised when I opened the hood and saw that. I thought, that's the coolest thing. Sometimes I just come out and open the hood and look at it. Which means dual batteries too, which is really great, especially on the gas. This engine on this, some folks are asking, this is the 7.3 liter Godzilla, and it is awesome. 460 horsepower, lots of torque. It's a great, great engine. Here's my Arb compressor I'm in the process of putting in. So that is mounted. We had to build a custom mount for that. And some guys put switches inside, and it's just such a pain to do that. The best place to do it is to put the switch right here. So I filed that right here, and we'll put the rocker switch right there, because you'll have a little air chuck sticking up so you can air up your tires. You're here anyway, right? So when you open this up and you want to use your compressor, you plug your line in, then you have to put it down, go inside, turn the compressor off, and reverse the process. Here, you just turn it on right here when you're ready. And when you come back and disconnect your hose, you turn it off, right? So that's it. So now we need to decide which battery to hook to. We have this one here. They look like they're both the same. I doubt that they're isolated, but that's not a problem because I'm a responsible winch user. I'm not going to run it down and shut the power off. I just realized something, guys. We got a block heater. Man, I've never seen that on a gas engine. Okay, so we've got our two leads, lots and lots of room because of that wonderful push rod engine. Oh man, love that engine. Fish these guys up here. Now this is the shielded cable, so this is the positive. I changed my mind on the battery. I'm going to come over to the battery on the passenger side. It has a better terminal connector deal there. The hook is really nice, forged. That's a good looking hook, isn't it? Very nice. I think this is my first winch with synthetic line. I've always had wire rope, and I haven't invested in it because I'm usually pretty hard on. I use it for skidding logs and where it really gets beat up. That's the nice thing about the wire rope is it's tough. Be sure and bend your cotter pins both ways. The channel locks or cobra pliers are usually good for this because you can. What I'll typically do is I'll get it started, get it bending in the direction you want it to go, and then you can use these. They have the Cobras especially have the perfect cutout right there for that. Bend it back all the way. If you don't do this, it'll snag on your hands when you grab it and pinch you. So get that in there as best you can. The fit inside this bumper could not be better. The cover fits on there, no problem. You've got plenty of room to reach your clutch handle. That's accessible right there on top. I mean, it really is, really fits in here very nicely. This is also the first wireless winch that I've had, which I'm really stoked about. It's got a magnet on the back. No more cord. So it does have a cord. So if you have a problem with the wireless, there is there's a plug in the back, so you can just go wired, which I'm very happy about that. There's a great big waterproof plug here, and there's the plug for the wired side, and then there's an off and on here for the wireless. So I'll turn that on, put the plug back. Now this says right here, press and hold for 3 seconds to turn the wireless on. So 1,000, 2, 1,000, there we go. So that's on, auto off after 2 minutes. Nice, so it's not gonna run your battery down. So this basically should be it. We are engaged, right? Yep, we got the gears engaged. Out. Sounds like a winch. Oh, it's fast. It's fast. Seems faster than Warren. Let's pull that out and see how fast it is. It feels fast. Oh, that wireless fan, I'll tell you, that I can see the benefits of that right now. It might be a little faster. I don't remember disengaging it. Yeah, it feels faster. That's it right there. That is pretty nice. That was an easy install. I guess we're not done yet. Should we put our cover on and wrap it up? I've got to say, guys, I am absolutely tickled over how everything had everything that I needed. It was very simple. That's one of the few projects I've had that didn't have some sort of an issue. Now, here's the important question to you guys in the comments. Red pull tab or no red pull tab? Let me show you here. Which one? Let me know what you think. What the majority votes, that's what we'll go with, right? I don't know. I didn't think I liked it, but it does look kind of cool. It's just going to get dirty, though. All right, red pull tab or no. Don't forget, if you were installing this with me, to take the torque or take the load off your torque wrenches. Don't store your torque wrenches ran up under pressure. Back them off to 0, and they'll last longer. All right, so we're going to do one more video with this where we're going to be doing some hardcore testing of the 12,000. It worked out perfect. My friend Eric, who actually, the trees that I fell a couple years ago over at the White House video, those great big firs, well, we fell those down in the canyon, and he's been looking at them, and he called me yesterday and said, do you think it would be possible to drag those big monsters up out of that canyon? I said, funny you should ask. I'm installing a winch right now. So I'm going to get with him tomorrow, and we'll pick a date. We'll take the truck over there, and we're going to be breaking out the yellow Jeep hood to skid those up and see how big a chunks we can skid out. So that's going to be the perfect opportunity for us to really put this under some heavy, heavy, hard load and see how it does. I'm hoping it'll do well. But good job. I'm impressed. It's a great package. Looks great so far. If it pulls, I think it's going to be great. Now, there was one guy, there's actually a couple guys that sent me a bunch of emails warning, hey, you can't put a 12,000-pound winch on that truck. It's nowhere near heavy enough. You need it. Nonsense. Nonsense. I have had full-size trucks, and I've never had winches bigger than 8,000 pounds on them. I've had 8,000-pound lay-down Warns, always. And I have pulled, goodness, over 50 people out of ditches with them. That's not true at all. This is 50% bigger than what I've ever been used to, and I've never not been able to do the job. So this is just icing on the cake. So don't pay any attention to that if you hear that in the comments. Yeah, it's nice to have a 17, 18,000 pound winch, but to say that doesn't work on a Super Duty is naive at best. So that's it. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. We'll see you over on the testing video next week, if the Almighty wills it. And keep us in your prayers. We pray for you constantly. We'll see you all on the next video.